Hey, Shalom, Shalom. Call hello Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Wadash. Peace and double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom and to the elect. I'm getting to this lesson now. Dealing with the situation with these celebrities, It's one guy, some of you brothers might know. He's from New York. Papoose. He's been around for a while. And he's been married to this other rapper named Remy Ma. And we advise brothers through the Spirit of the Lord that you shouldn't be getting married on paper. Okay, legally married, because it's not a wise decision in this current society, because 50% of those, if not more, end up in divorce. If you really, the best way to have longevity is to not get married on paper. Those are the marriages, the relationships, so-called, that last longer. All right, because when you give a woman power over you, which essentially getting married in America today is what it is. You're giving them leverage. I'll say leverage against you, because they could turn around and take a lot of your shit. So we told brothers that, and we also, and this starting with our apostles, and elders of Great Millstone, told brothers to stay away from the so-called black woman, especially the Americanized one, right? Because, as you can see, all right, they are fully given unto the system. They are fully given unto Satan. Okay, whether they know it or not, they don't even love themselves. So how can they love a man, right? They've had so many men deal with them that they don't have an ability to pair bond anymore. And that's why, brothers were advised. And I remember, hey, that's life-saving advice right there, man. The Wadi Yahweh Shem Yahushua for setting up the apostles, amongst the many, there's other more important things that we've learned in this faith, but that is one of the most important things that we've learned. All right, which is to be very cautious dealing with these women. All right, as my man Papoose is finding out right now. Now, if he had took heed to what the word of the Lord is, what came out, all right, which is the word, the voice of the Lord, the Most High God. His name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai, and his voice is his servants, the prophets. Jeremiah 1 and 7. I'll read Jeremiah 1 and 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Ah, Lord God, Lord Yahweh, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai said unto me, Say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. So that's what Jeremiah was commanded to do as a prophet, and all of the prophets, all right, starting with our apostles, the apostles of Great Millstone, the elders, the brothers on down, to the younger brothers in the faith as myself. All right. We've been commanded to speak. So the words that's coming out is not of our own. This is a heavenly counsel. All right. And you Israelites out there, you so-called Black, Latino, and Native American men out there, you would do well to take heed. All right. As well as the women of our nation. But in all reality, the masses of them, they ain't dealing with the truth. All right. They ain't dealing with the Lord. Even the women that come with a headscarf acting all righteous, they're not in this thing. All right. So we advise you, brothers, to move wisely. All right. through the Spirit of the Lord. Okay, because these women, what does it say? Or deep ditch, yeah. Let's get that in Proverbs. Proverbs 23. And what was it? 23 and 27, right? Proverbs 23 and 27, it says, "For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit." All right. It says, "A prostitute is a dangerous trap. A promiscuous woman is as dangerous as falling into a narrow well." So, most of these women, whether they know it or not, they are operating in the spirit of a prostitute. All right. They do things with different men for money. I mean, whether they want to label it, them exploring their options, whatever it is, it's whoredom, according to the Holy Bible. According to the Holy Bible, which women love to give lip service about the Most High, all right? But you don't live a godly life at all, because according to the Bible, you're supposed to be with the first man that takes your virginity, okay? That's who you're supposed to be with for life. You're not supposed to be sleeping around with different men, all right? On a spiritual level, it puts demons on you, and even on a physical level, biochemically, you release you become like a drug addict, because you release certain chemicals in your body when you have an interaction with a man. It's a bonding chemical. All right, I believe it's oxytocin. And you're supposed to deal with that one man. Now, if you deal with different men, that same chemical, it will be released. But over time, what's going to happen, especially because these women, they're not just sleeping with one or two men. They're sleeping with like 10 to 15 to 20. And that's just putting it mildly. Some of these women are walking around here with over 100 bodies. All right. And what happens is, over time, you're not able to bond with one man. You see, these women have, these women are sick, man. All right. They're walking around and they're spiritually lost, and their soul is basically gone. You see, and they have no direction, and they're not able to even bond with or connect with a man anymore. No matter how much they try, no matter how much the so-called vibe will be there and all that, they might have so-called chemistry, right? Things might go well for a while, but inevitably those demons are going to come out. All right. And that's what Papoose found out the hard way. Okay. This dude, he done held this woman down for a long ass time. And motherfuckers was saying, yeah, he had a woman on the side. So the fuck what if he did? He's a man. Now, we know you westernized women, they're not capable of comprehending that. But men and women are not the same. We're not, you're not capable of doing the things that a man can do. All right. According to the Holy Bible, a man is allowed to have more than one wife. So you women and your rebellion against the Most High God is what's putting you in this position. You see, this is all a spiritual thing. Okay. And again, if you ignore these red flags with these women, you're going to end up in a situation like this. And on top of it, and I'm not feeling bad for Papoose, because this guy, he went and married this woman on paper, a full-blown demon. If you look at the music she makes and the songs that she makes, nothing about her is indicative of her being a wife. But yet these street niggas, they like to go and take these hood rats and wife them up, have a hood Cinderella story. And that shit is just not reality. It looked nice for a little while, right? And a lot of people say, oh, that's the picturesque so-called black love. But here it is, and the Lord is revealing a lot of things, in these last days. And here it is, that was all a fraud, and now she's copping a plea, that's getting ugly on social media. The one thing I could respect the dude for was he didn't go yapping his gums. Papoose held it down. He didn't really mention it until, it became a situation where she addressed it and he had to say something. But at the end of the day, man, again, we tell you men out there, all right, a whore is a deep ditch. Okay. It says she also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgressors among men. You see? So that dude that she slept with, Easy, the block captain, both her and him are supposed to be put to death. Okay, but that's how you know the society is wicked, because they don't allow these things. In New York, they just legalized adultery, which honestly, there was no consequence for adultery already. But basically, they're just further putting it out there, because, New York, especially, is the heart of Babylon. New York City is one of the most wickedest places on earth. You got all of the most wicked cities on earth are in America. Sin City, Las Vegas, and it's beautiful because the Lord put some brothers that are heavy in the spirit in these wicked cities. You see, and that's how the Lord works. It's always a balance. Some of the heaviest prophets are in these most wicked cities to condemn them, and it's things like this that happens. All right. All right. So, let's get Sirach. All right, which this lesson could be hours going into the folly and the evil of these women. But we're just gonna get a couple more. So Sirach 25 and 17. The wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. And you could tell that woman, Remy Ma, I mean, she was always wicked, but especially in the last few years, yeah, that industry, them demons really turned up on that woman. And the thing is, you women, you're not capable of resisting. Men have a lot more willpower. Like Papoose seemed like a guy that, yeah, he's in the industry, but he really didn't go all the way in terms of selling out. From the outside looking in, I don't know all the facts. But, there's a reason why he didn't really blow up crazy. And I'm pretty sure he looked and saw some things where he probably didn't want to partake, where she was willing to do it. And if you look at some of the last videos, which I had glanced at some of them, which they're very hard to stomach because of how evil and wicked they are. She's a walking embodiment of the example of what the apostles say that you got to stay the fuck away from. You see, and as time goes on, it makes more and more sense why they said these things to us, and through the Spirit of the Lord and them saying that saved a lot of brothers, a lot of trouble, man, But again, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face, and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. You could see on the woman's face, she got spirits on her, man, and there's no accountability. They'll never acknowledge. He got the stone cold proof. He got Shorty posted up in front of the Christmas tree with some other dude, and yet somehow she's still trying to justify and argue and play the victim. These women are unbelievable, man. But then again, we can believe it because it's in the scriptures. All right. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, shall sigh bitterly. And Papoose was sighing bitterly when he saw this. This broad done, put his name through the mud, embarrass him. And to his credit, he did handle it with some class, because he could have gotten to the messiness, but he kind of held it down. He didn't say much, and just, he went about his life, moved on, got a new woman, so on and so forth. And here it is, everything is coming out though. All right. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. You see, these women, and it goes back to Eve. All right. This is all a spiritual thing. Like we always say, let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. Yeah, that bitch, she's going to be destroyed. All right. And the dude that she did it with. All right. As the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the age, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. You see? And he seemed like that, even though he's a rapper, he seemed like a kind of reserved cat. But this bitch, but then again, that's what you chose. You see? Stumble not at the beauty of a woman, and desire her not for pleasure. You see, he fell for, a fat ass and a smile, and now he's in the position that he's in. That's why you can't be so carnal when it comes to these women. Got to be spiritually minded. What is she bringing to the table? What is she going to offer you that's going to make your life easier? If not, and this is the case with 99.9% of these women out here nowadays, it's best to just stay away from them. If you have a woman you've been dealing with and she's been holding you down for a while, and it please you to dwell with her, and vice versa, hey, keep a good thing going, or I'll say a decent thing going, and that's your situation. You deal with it as you should, and pray to the Lord for guidance. You might have seeds with her, you do the best you can, but regardless, don't get married on paper with her, because that's just going to make your life easier, and you're going to give her ammunition to leave you. If she don't have a paper paperwork from the state, because that's all it is you and a woman getting together and saying, you know what? Hey, baby, listen, this thing is so good. Let's get Esau in on this too. Let's get the government in on this too. That's basically what you're saying when you're getting married on paper. You see? Now, if a woman doesn't have leverage, and that's the thing about these women, if you give them leverage, they're going to destroy themselves with it. So for her own protection, the man is supposed to be the one to be holding all the cards. And that will keep them in check and actually protect them, because then they will not have an incentive to go and cross you. You see, if a woman is not married to you and shit goes south, she leaves with nothing. You see? So, as much as they be pushing this marriage thing, it's really foolish to do that nowadays, you see? So now he has to go through and say, listen to the confusion of this. Papoose has to sit here and say, I've been asking for a divorce. That's what he said. How the fuck do you have to ask for a divorce? You're already not with the woman no more. She already betrayed you. She's supposed to be in the dirt. And so is the adulterer and the adulteress. Both of them are supposed to be in a grave. So how is it that you're sitting here saying, well, I've been asking for a divorce? You should be able to walk away with no consequence, and you just, keep your integrity intact. Now you got to go through the court. Now you got to go through this. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it, brothers. And that's why the Spirit of the Lord, again, was upon our apostles, and the brothers, the elder brothers that taught us to warn us about these things. And now you're seeing the fruit of it. Okay. Okay. And especially a woman having more money than you, that's another recipe for disaster. The man is supposed to have all the money. And, you might give the woman a little allowance, of whatever she might need to take care of the house, to take care of the children, right? If you feel like she's, doing right by you, you might bless her up a little bit if the Lord is giving you a little surplus. But overall, you're supposed to be holding all the chips, because women don't know what to do. Women use money for folly purposes, man. They can't help themselves. They shop, they spend it on nonsense. Before you know it, you go broke, and everybody's broke. And then everybody's looking at you like, damn, it's still on you. So the best thing to do is you hold the chips, you hold the money, and handle, provide and handle the business. All right. And delegate whatever, responsibilities you want to your wife, which is within every brother's own realm of, his own household, and you rule your household how you see fit. But this is just some spiritual advice, that, hey, if you don't have a woman, stay like that, honestly, because, hey, man, life is a lot easier like that nowadays, Every brother's situation is different, but there's a reason why Apostle Paul said that it's trouble in the flesh. Okay? You see? So, the Wadi Halba Shem Al Shah for the wise counsel, man, because we're seeing all of the consequences of not listening to that counsel. You see? And these niggas, they see all the red flags and they go right in for it anyway. So, we don't feel bad for none of them, but it's just another product of Esau's wicked society, because, Esau's to blame. In a society where there was consequences for this type of thing, she wouldn't be doing that. But it's because of, they act all tough, these rappers, and these women, they act like they super pro black and they went and voted for Kamala and they are BLM'd up. But really, you're the number one advocates of the so-called white man. You're his number one fan. You see, because you forward everything that he wants. See, if we had it our way, and the so-called black, Latino, and Native American man that was right in their right mind was ruling this society, or I wouldn't say ruling this society because we don't want to have nothing to do with this. But if there was a righteous rulership set up, none of these things would be happening because there would be consequences for your actions. But in Esau's world, which is the so-called white man, you can do all these things. You see, judgment is slacked. You know what? I'll grab that and we can close this out. Yeah, Habakkuk 1 and 4. Therefore the law is slacked, and judgment doth never go forth. For the wicked doth compass about the righteous. Therefore wrong judgment proceeded. This is an example of wrong judgment. And in certain situations when women do these things, they're able to still take the man's money. There should be a rule at least to where, yeah, if it's an adultery involved, you don't leave with nothing. That way a woman doesn't have an incentive to do it. You want to de-incentivize. I don't know if that's a word, but you want to make it so there's no incentive for a woman to do these type of things. You see, to transgress, because in a righteous society, you want families to stay together. But this is not a righteous society. It's wicked. Now what's going to happen? They have a child together. They're going to be between two parents. That's not how it's supposed to be. All right, Habakkuk 1 and 4. In the NLT, the law has become paralyzed and there is no justice in the courts. You see, the law has become paralyzed because you cannot enact righteous law. Women are allowed to do it, and this is all by design, because who's the number one weapon that they use is our women, specifically the so-called black women. They're the most prominent ones. A lot of them, these Eves, man, a lot of these Eves are millionaires based off the vain things that they're able to do. OnlyFans, and they might have, they get into all these businesses like lashes. They might, bitches be coming up off being a stripper, become a millionaire overnight. They have these nail salon and, all this nonsense, So they're able to come up. I noticed that a lot of these so-called black women got a lot of money now, because they've been able to Esau set it up like that, and they've taken advantage and been able to position themselves within the Edomite supremacy system. But yet that same system is not beneficial to the man, but it is beneficial to them. But then they want to scream about how they're so, oppressed. No, you ain't oppressed. You're uplifted in this society to do the wicked shit. You have everything at your fingertips. Your heart's desire to do in wickedness. You see? The wicked far outnumber the righteous, so that justice has become perverted, you see, and that's this society. There's very few that are on the right hand. There's very few that are in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in this society. You see, and this whole society is one shock after another scandal, after another embarrassment. This society is a sham. It's a mess. You see? And if something ain't telling you, well, look at the ones that's ruling it. Because Esau's going to get the blame for all this. All right. You wicked Jakes, you're going to get your judgment. But the Lord, he's bringing that judgment because of Esau, Edom. And you wicked Jakes, you further his system. So you're going to get the same judgment right along with him. All right. But we're going to get you devils for setting up this wicked society where our people are running around doing all this nonsense, man, because it's just outrageous, man. You see? The wicked far outnumber the righteous. That's why this is a small remnant. Most people celebrate the holidays. And guess what? These whores, they love Christmas. You see that? This bitch was posted up by the Christmas tree with her side nigga. You see? That's a major red flag too. If a woman is super into the holidays and all that, hey man, look out. Keep an eye out. The biggest whores on planet Earth, they love Christmas. They love this time of year, because it's all about vanity and they're into vanity. Anything that's vain and demonic and satanic, they're into it. Even if it's dressed up not to be what, deep, it's all spiritual. They're attracted to demonic things. You see, and that's what they follow after. So they love to have it so. New Year's, and then before you know it, the new year rolls in, and it ain't even the real new year. The real new year comes in around spring. All right, but according to this society, the new year, before you know it, they're gonna be coming with Valentine's, they're gonna be coming with this, and it just keeps you stupid ass simps in this fucking carousel, this loop around of nonsense. You see? And what happens? You get worn out. That man Papoose is worn out. You see? But he's into he's another confused dude. You see? But really, we just need to get the hell out of here, man, because again, there is no justice, there is no righteousness in this society. All right, so hey, with that, call Allah Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Machak Wadash. Shalom to the next one.